Lana comes out, and Rusev just continues to grin. And Lawler points out he's still wearing his wedding band because he hopes that they can get back together. And Lana says she didn't want to come out here and air their dirty laundry, which is kind of the whole point of this segment, you would think. Lana says that since she's come out with her relationship with Lashley, she's had to deal with all the haters online that are bullying her, and tells all the people to shut up as they're chanting for Rusev. And Lana reveals the dark secret of their marriage. She says all Rusev wanted was to have sex. And Rusev responds, well, can you blame me? And at this point, this crowd was very entertained by Rusev. Lana goes on to say Rusev wanted to have sex all day long. He is a sex addict. And she listed all the different places Rusev wanted to have sex, including at WrestleMania. She did not clarify if it was in the tank.
Oh, yes, right. Tank. Can I pause? Did you ever think, John, like in your career, you would have to say like all the things you just said in the last 40 seconds?
Oh yes, I've been ready for this.
I guess you've said worse, honestly.
There's been worse from this company. Rusev just responds, I cannot believe these accusations. Lana says that all you wanted to do was put a baby inside of me. He knew more about... Okay, this I did not expect. He knew more about my monthly cycle than I did. You just wanted to have those machka brats running around crushing. And then Lana says Rusev cheated on her, and Bobby Lashley told me so. He says Lashley is talking shit, and he denies it. So then Bobby Lashley comes out. Now, keep in mind that about 3 segments ago, we saw Bobby fully clothed in the dressing room. Since that time, he has changed into his trunks and has come out for the divorce court. Rusev goes after him, sends him into the steps. They're cheering for Rusev, and then Rusev gets caught with a flatliner, and the spear gets stopped as he kicks Lashley. Rusev then takes off the wedding ring, and he proceeds to put the wedding ring into Lashley's mouth. I was led to believe that he swallowed this ring.
Sure. What, that's the most ridiculous thing about this whole thing?
No, the most ridiculous thing will be next week when Vince McMahon has watched the first Jackass movie and he's going to do the X-ray with the ring being found.
I don't know.
He asks Lana, why are you doing this? I loved you. And Lashley delivers a low blow to Rusev. Lana slaps him, and as Rusev is down on the ground, Lashley and Lana proceed to make out. As the show goes to end, and as the two are making out over Rusev's lifeless body, the greatest catcall from the crowd, one fan yells out the final words on Raw, "This is weird." And the show ends.
It was weird. Yeah, it was weird. I was like, oddly looking forward to this. Number one, because like I think the ridiculousness has gotten to a point where I just have to give up and just try to enjoy it. Also because I sense that this would be the culmination and the end of this.
No,
but
no way.
Instead, it only got more weird. It only got more uncomfortable, and it only represented the beginning of whatever is to come here. And I don't know, I turned another corner here because I found this so tough to watch. I found it just gross. Like, I felt really gross as an adult, not only watching this, but having to like talk about it and have an opinion about it for a living. It was really strange. The trashiest form, I think, of television that might exist on TV, and I'm including Jerry Springer. I don't even know what's on TV anymore, but it certainly probably won't be that much worse than this and more lowbrow than this. So fun. I think if you are able to just, not take your life and maybe your consumption of your free time all that seriously. But beyond that, it's the type of thing that makes you reconsider what you're doing with your life.
I'll tell you what this segment represented to me. The long-term value of this segment is going to be realized on January the 6th, because there's going to be a moment when Wei and I are probably going to be on our feet, and all of Oda Ward Gymnasium is going to be on their feet. There will probably be people in tears as Jushin Thunder Liger says goodbye for the final time, ending his career.
Where are you going with this? How are you going to relate
began in 1984, a career that was born the same year you and I entered this world, Way. And as everyone is having this emotional moment, everyone has their phones out trying to take a photo to remember where they were. What joy this has brought to everyone. I am going to lean over to Way and say, this same industry features Lana and Bobby Lashley putting their tongues down their throat over top of Lana's legitimate husband. This is all the same thing, Way. And you're going to look at me and say, this is not the same thing.
You bring up a good point, and maybe that's the problem. Maybe the problem is us thinking that wrestling should only be a certain way. And certainly music shouldn't just be one way. Movies shouldn't just be one way. There are many forms of different types of movies. We shouldn't necessarily look at wrestling.
Good and bad are two different ways.
That is true. But you know what? Listen to the reaction that this beatdown got. Like,
dude, this crowd got into this.
It got into it.
I think it was mainly because Rusev is a great performer.
Listen, how can you not get into this, though? Like, if you're there live, especially. Like, I know a lot of us are watching. I was watching this shaking my head. But if this scene played out in front of me in real life, and two people ended up getting... Like, we all watch World Star. We all go crazy for, like, those videos. We're not judging them based off of, like, how trashy it is. But we do afterwards. But if we're there live seeing a World Star level fight in front of us for the stupidest of reasons... I think we'd all be like, whoa, this is crazy. Look at this shit. That's happening. So it works. It works. I don't doubt that it works. I'm just so ashamed that it works. And I'm so ashamed that I, as a human being, have a reaction to it. So, fuck. Like, in the same way that, Jim Cornette might criticize a Young Bucks match, saying that, like, that style of wrestling, fuck that style of wrestling. It's demeaning. It's killing my industry. But we argue that, hey, look at the reaction that it gets. There's no disputing that, Jim Cornette. Can we make the same argument about this? You and I think it sucks. In hindsight. But look at the reaction that it gets. Is Vince right? Is Paul Heyman right to produce stuff like this?
I think it ultimately comes down to what they believe. There is, like, we've seen the breakdowns that these segments have done well. There's an audience for them. They would not be pursuing this if they didn't feel that they're...
I have no hope for the human race.
Well, this is how they're building a babyface in 2019 with Rusev.